All right, let's go straight into it, man. I want to start with, should I say, the transfer window in terms of there's 7 weeks left.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously the World Cup's in full swing now, getting into the really important moments of it now. We'll get into the knockout stages.
Yeah.
We need what?
We need Jesus, blood. That's what we need.
And for anyone who's not Christian, whatever your God is in that, that's what we need.
Whoever your prophet is or whatever, that's what we need. And we need about 5 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Because let's think about it. We need like what, 3 to 4 players.
Yeah.
7 weeks. Quick enough. We started off saying, hold on a minute, transfer window's only been open for a couple of weeks, but then it took an absolute eternity to confirm Fred officially, which we all knew he was there, but he actually wasn't there. But now it's done. Obviously, Delort. Obviously, we need way more than that.
Yeah.
Is that enough time to get this done?
Bruv, the rate that United move with transfers, I don't feel like it is, because I feel like we always take longer than everyone to get over the line, bruv.
Because we're linked with 16 million people as well.
Like, we take so long to get over the line, bruv, like all the time. Even with Delo as well, yeah. We knew he was coming like 3 weeks before. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, we've never been shocked with a transfer where it's just been the only time I've woken up and it's been a mad one. It was Radamel Falcao, remember?
Yeah, I remember. I was on my way to it. I thought, oh my God, we've got Falcao. We've got
I saw the Falcao thing, boss, at 11 p.m. in the evening. Then when I woke up, it was like, yo, Falcao's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I was like,
that was wicked.
Other than that, United always have sagas, bruv. You know the ones there? Like, we have sagas like Dragon Ball Z, blood.
Is that just because we're such a powerhouse and like everyone just gets linked with us for prices? People want new contracts. So, well, we know that people definitely use us for new contracts.
Yeah.
When Titi done it. What's his face done it?
Sergio Ramos.
I remember that Sergio Ramos under Van Gaal was like, we're linked with. And at the time, I was thinking, yeah.
I don't think it is anything other than, I just think that the people that do our transfer business, it's just dead, innit? Like, you can say, oh, we're the biggest club and all this, yeah, but no, man, because Real Madrid and Barcelona, yeah, you just hear that they've matched the bid and someone's coming.
Yeah.
It's the same with PSG, do you know what I mean? It's the same with City. When they signed Laporte, yeah, you just heard, man was just holding the scarf, blood. Like, that was it. There's
no delay. It just happens.
They just paid the money and he was just holding the scarf like the next day, innit? Like, that's just how it is. The same with, remember when Willian was doing the medical at Tottenham and then all of a sudden, bro, he was just a Chelsea player like that. Yeah. Like, that's how men do transfers. With United, it's all long.
The ruthless streak has to be there, innit? Because you just get moved aside. Is it, in all honesty though, is it actually worrying that we've got 7 weeks left? Or is it like, nah, do you know what?
I'm not worried on stuff. Because when everyone was like, oh yeah, we're going to have a major clear out, bruv. We ain't in it. Like, I never.
That's another thing. Some players ain't even gone it. Fellaini.
What did we say?
Fellaini is still here,
bruv. His contract expires.
Rants got in his calendar
midnight. On Saturday, blood. Fellaini. If he hasn't signed a deal by then, I'm getting hammered, bruv. You know what I'm saying? That giant mushroom still at man's club. Nah, but seriously, like, remember what I said before? All the guys that we call Deadwood are still at the club. Like, so we don't know.
Do you think they might stay? Some of them,
bro, they're staying, innit?
They're
staying. I'm hearing that Luke Shaw's gonna get offered a new contract. Obviously, they activated the extra year clause, but now they're saying they're thinking about giving him more years.
On top of that,
that's worrying considering he's not playing.
Yeah, well, you know unless there's been some serious conversations where Jose's actually sat down with him and said, I
don't think so, because right now he's running around looking like a burrito, fam.
But
have you seen him?
We're gonna get onto that. All right, just to wrap up that point. So 7 weeks left for the transfer window.
I think that we're gonna sign 2 or 3 players maximum. Yeah. I feel like we're gonna get Willian and we're gonna get another midfielder, bro.
The Willian thing worries me a bit.
Jose wants Willian. I don't want him.
It's such a Jose signing, isn't it?
I think he's a good player, but I just feel like as a team, we should be going for more. Like going for Willian was like kind of like when we went for Valencia and that after Ronaldo. It's like, what? Like we could do better than that.
We can do better.
Do you know what I mean?
I'd rather just keep playing Jesse then.
Yeah, we could do better than a Willian. As much as he's good, don't get me wrong, I rate him. But for 60 M's what they're quoting now, bro. For 30, I'll take him.
Well.
30 million, I'll take him. For 60 million, leave it out, bro. Like, I'll go for Dybala or something.
So that's what we touched on there. What do you guys think? Do you think that Jose's running out of time to get these transfers over the line? Have Man United left it too late? Drop your comments in the boxes below. Let us know. Next topic. He said that he looks like a burrito. Don't be horrible to him, man.
Bro, Bro, he's not fit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not an Instagram model, blood. Like he's an athlete.
It's his natural physique. He's one of them players. He's one of them players. None of those players that just naturally carry like a Rooney.
He's got a Rooney build.
Where as soon as they stop playing football for any amount of time, then they just get.
But that's because they're eating, blood. Like he's got the Rooney build in it, but let's not like the guy looks like Popeye, fam. Like why are you built like that?
Come on.
Why are you built like Popeye? You're a professional athlete, innit? He looks like he plays darts, fam. Like you're a footballer. Like your job is to run. How are you running?
Because he's on holiday, innit? He's on the island.
Bro, the league only finished last month. I'm not trying to hear that. Like how you get that fat?
Do you know what the worrying thing is? Someone put a side-by-side pitch. You know the little pick stitch you could do?
Yeah.
You know when he was on crutches when he broke his ankle?
And he was
ripped. He was ripped, and I thought he looks in shape. And then you just see him.
You know what I'm saying, bro? He must have broke his jaw and he couldn't eat, blood. That's why man was looking like that. Luke Shaw got lean, he had abs and everything like that, and then now you're fat. So that shows you've got no discipline. If you've got no discipline, you can't be at our club.
I'd love to know what training he was doing, because I read reading reports he was training 6 weeks.
Training his jaw, blood. Listen,
he must have been in 5 guys.
Training his jaw and his biceps, fam. I'm telling you, Luke Shaw, all the excuses I made for him, before, talent and whatever, throw it in the bin, innit? Like, it's a disgrace. I said the same thing about Wayne Rooney as well. He never looked like an athlete. If he looked after himself, he'd still be running around now. He's 33 years old. He's not old. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Iniesta's 34, and he might look about 80, but he can still move around the pitch.
It's like Giggs, isn't it? He proper investing in his body. I remember he used to do interviews saying he done yoga and relaxation stuff, bro, and massages to keep himself in tip-top condition. And he knew
Luke Shaw's an embarrassment to the sport, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as a professional footballer that's on like millions a year, take your craft seriously. And if you don't, you don't deserve to be at a club like Manchester United.
Do you think he's done then? Like, he's out of shape. We don't know what's going on.
I don't know. If Jose keeps him, it might be because he can't get anyone else and he's keeping him for backup because he's young. But personally, like, you've disrespected the club looking like that. Because, you know what I mean?
It's bad for the image.
Forget the image, yeah?
Because he's just podgy and over.
Does he look like someone that understands that he's at one of the biggest clubs in the world? He doesn't. He looks like he's just taking a piss.
Maybe he's comfort eating because Jose's just mugged him off. He can't get in. He's just comfort eating.
Nah, bro. He needs a comfort treadmill, blood. You know what I'm saying?
Comfort train.
Treadmill, blood. Luke Shaw. You know what I'm saying? You're on holiday. I see you on a boat. Get in the water and swim, blood. Disgrace. Like, I'm not trying to hear it, bruv. It's disgusting. You know what I mean? You're a professional athlete, bruv. Like, you know what I mean? I had all the sympathy for him last season. I was one of the guys that was saying, you know what, when he's coming, he's looked decent and that, but maybe 20 minutes is all man could handle.
So, do you think Jose's looking at this thinking, see?
Yeah,
this is what I mean. This is what I try and tell you a lot about him.
LVG had him running by himself as well.
Yeah,
doing extra running.
You're not fit enough. Go do it by yourself.
Disgrace, bruv. Like, you don't have the mentality to be at a big club, man. Look at the state of you. Like, he shouldn't be at the club next season, bruv. Like, he's got 1 year left. Like, I don't know, we might get like a packet of peanuts and a pint for him. I'll take it.
He could be on some next Atkins diet, yeah, that we don't know about, some next carbo thing, bro, burning off enough calories, and he could come back to, you know what I mean?
He could.
There's 7 weeks left of the transfer window.
He could do it, but you can't treat your body like that as a professional athlete.
And that's what I was going to say, the fluctuation of like
and yo-yoing it messes up your metabolism.
You're not a boxer, bro. Stop trying to put on weights to get different categories.
But even the boxers though, like, all the boxers that blow up in between fights, they end up getting slapped up, bro. It damaged Ricky Hatton. Do you know what I mean?
Kell Brook tried to cut weight.
Tyson Fury as well, yeah. Like, you can't be putting all that weight and cutting it and that. It's not good for your body, innit? Luke Shaw, like, his attitude's not right. I don't care what the reasons for it are. You're a professional footballer, bruv. You're paid to do a job. Right now, you ain't in decent nick to do a job. And fair enough, he didn't get picked for England, but
that's not
they couldn't pick him, bruv. Look at him. Do you know what I mean? Man, he have a choice.
All man's meals out there.
Fam.
The thing is as well, like, when you're a professional athlete, like you're saying, you're actually signing up to a lot more than just obviously playing the game. You're investing in you're signing up for a lifestyle. You're giving up that.
You have to be fit and available to be selected.
At all
Do you know what I mean? Like, when you look at the state of him now, you don't get that fat in 4 weeks.
The state of him.
You don't get that fat in 4 weeks, bro. Unless he was literally sleeping in the cereal aisle in the supermarket, bro, and just eating Cheerios, blood. That's what he looks like, bro. He's a disgrace, isn't it?
What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think? Is Luke Shaw way too overweight? Are we reading into it too much? Should we just leave him alone? He's on holiday, he's relaxing. Or like what Rants is saying, you're a professional athlete and there's just no excuse. Again, drop your comments in the boxes below. Now, next bit. Before we go on to the main one, what I want to talk about this player. Although he's probably not going to come to us, we know that. Jack Wilshere. On Twitter last week, you guys, the United fan base on my timeline anyway, it was crazy. I loved it. I love when I tweet something out like that, just to get the debate
we
going.
Got quite a lot of responses, innit?
It's really mixed, really mixed. Some people saying Wilshere can't even get into Arsenal's team. Why the hell would we be interested in him? He's been potential for all this time. He's always injured, sick note, rare, no chance. On the other side, why not? He's for free. On his day, he can play well. Where do you sit on that?
Jack, wheelchair, blood, I'm telling you. You know what it is with wheelchair, yeah? Like, I like him, innit? Like, I like him. I think as a person, he's probably a knob. But you know what? As a footballer, he's very talented, innit? He's a very talented footballer. Everyone says, oh, yeah, like, it's all potential and this, that, and the other, and he's injury prone. Yeah, people have injury problems, but also, like, when he went to Bournemouth, he played, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't that great in that season, though,
he wasn't that great, but he was at
Towards
Bournemouth.
the end of the season,
like,
he wasn't even in the team.
But he's at Bournemouth, though, innit? Like, the thing is with Jack Wilshere, what was unlucky for him, in a sense, was the fact that when he came through right at the end of Arsenal's era of dominance. And then, because he was young and he was English and that, they gassed him up, and he had a lot of responsibility for a player that wasn't really ready.
He was playing in massive games.
He had a lot of responsibility for a player that didn't really deserve that. And if he was at a club that had bigger players, they could have taken him under the wing and he could have been like a part of it, and they could have blooded him in instead of throwing him in and trying to give man armbands and that. Do you know what I mean?
Which is what they were trying to do.
But Wilshere's never played in a solid midfield with two established midfielders, bruv. Like, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He would always be a squad player, and he's free. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't demand a lot of wages either because of his fitness record. So it's one of them things.
You have to give him a pay-as-you-play. I don't know, man.
I don't think a pay-as-you-play. Personally, I wouldn't sign him, but at the same time, if we did sign him, I wouldn't be pissed, bro, because it's an upgrade on Fellaini, bro.
Yeah,
Fellaini's crap.
When you put it like that, in terms of if Fellaini went out and Wilshere came in on a free, that's maybe not that bad. But I just think he's been at Arsenal such a long time, hasn't managed to. I think Wenger's a part of that, where he hasn't had things around him and hasn't, he's killed a lot. Like, look at Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't reach his potential. Theo Walcott was supposed to be. There's a lot of players who just stay stagnant.
Wenger gives them the chance, but then did they kick on? Not really. Because but also because they're not playing with much better players. Also, people don't take that into account. When you're playing with better players, it actually makes you a better player. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So with Arsenal, they sell their best players and then bring in players that are pretty much second rate.
But if he's not good enough for Arsenal, ain't there a hint of why is he good enough for us?
I don't think that he's not good enough for Arsenal. I don't think that
or
that's
deemed
an issue.
Not good enough.
I don't think that he's not deemed good enough either. I think that their cups just run off over with him, and also I feel like he needs a new challenge anyway. Sometimes that could spur
similar to the Oxlade thing then, because he was he was looking like just lethargic, didn't
Oxlade
know where
wasn't always starting for Arsenal,
position.
But you know what, he come into Liverpool, he banging goals in the Champions League, but Oxlade-Chamberlain always had that quality.
Rants, would Jose get that out of him?
I'm out of Wilshere. I don't know, bro.
Would Jose that guy just galvanise someone like Wilshere and give him a break?
Like, maybe he needs a stern manager to grab him and say, listen, this is your last chance, sort your life out. Because I feel like Arsene Wenger's too soft.
What about true, but what about the thing of his level? His level is Everton, West Ham, them kind of teams.
I don't know that for sure, because when I've seen him play well,
I've seen a lot of people say that
he looks like he's proper.
Because I've seen him play against Barcelona at the Emirates.
But I've seen man saucing blood,
doing bits, but he just don't do it. I don't know.
Like for me, if I said this yesterday, if Jack Wilshere was black, he would be Ravel Morrison. You know them ones?
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
their talent.
Yeah,
but there's something not right in it. Yeah. So I wouldn't take him personally. I wouldn't take him. But
I don't think he is going to come. He is linked with West Ham or he's not.
He's going to go like West Ham or Crystal Palace or something. Yeah. No, I mean like but for people to say he's not good enough to play for us as ability wise is nonsense, because he's good enough technically to play for a top club.
You think it's just too much of a gamble in other departments?
Man, forget that we had like squad players like bloody Liam Miller and them, man, bruv. Like Fergie spent peas on Alan Smith. He was a dead baller. You know them ones there. Like so, like we've always had squad players.
Rest in peace, Liam Miller as well. By the way.
No, I'm saying rest in peace, Liam Miller. And we've had
a lot of players who are average.
We've had Tom Cleverley's, that was getting the go ahead above Paul Pogba, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We've had these man already. We've had Quinton Fortunes and that. We've had man that have been in the squad as squad players, and he's technically better than all of these men.
we should do a show on United flops. That's a whole different thing.
You know what I mean? So, like, listen, Fergie's had some howlers of signings, blood, like the Obertans and them, man. So, to say that he's not good enough to play for the club, technically he's good enough, but I don't want him. And also, I think that his attitude isn't correct for us. But like all the slander and that he's a crap player, he's not. Like he's definitely got problems with his attitude. Like that can't be questioned.
I think it's safe to say he's not going to come to Manchester
He's not
United,
coming, and we don't want him.
Yeah,
we don't want wheelchair.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? But he's not whack though.
Because even when you're saying about the upgrade on Fellaini, which it is, but how often would wheelchair be available? And that's the thing. You just don't know.
You don't know, man. But then look at the opposite. Look at Danny Welbeck, bruv. He was fit for us, and then as soon as he went to Arsenal,
that's
he
Arsenal's
was
medical
cropped.
team, innit? They got.
Do you know what I mean? So like with players, it can happen like that.
Yeah, it can.
Do you know what I mean? Robin van Persie was the same. He
was
couldn't get a game for Arsenal,
the first
and
year
then he came to us and
up.
bins out every game. Like so, that's how it is. He
hear
didn't have injury problems at us.
Yeah, I hear
do you know what I
hear
mean?
you.
So like it can happen. Ryan Giggs earlier in his career had injury problems, and then they went away and never came back. So. Like
it can happen.
It can happen. So he's not destined to be a crock forever. Like you know what I mean? He's not destined. Like he plays more minutes than Daniel Sturridge. Do you know what I'm saying?
Everyone plays
like it's not a Sturridge thing where like man's coming on and getting wheeled off every 5 minutes.
Injured 100% every season.
That's it.
That's our take on Wiltshire. Again, man, we want to know what you guys think. It was so interesting to see what you lot thought during last week, man. My timeline was going off. You know, some of people getting onto each other saying, "You're crazy. How could you ever take Wiltshire? You're not a proper Man United fan." Just quickly. Look, opinion is fantastic. I hate when people jump on other people because they don't agree. If you don't agree with something, that's fine as well. But it's the way that people try and slander people.
You're never gonna agree with everything someone says. Not your mom, not your missus, not your boyfriend, not whoever, like your cousin, your best friend, whatever. You're always gonna have disagreements.
As humans, just not
as human beings, we're never gonna see things the same way, innit? So. Like you have to take that into consideration. Like,
jump on people.
People have opinions.
Personal and all that.
In football, when there's stats and there's facts and that, then facts are facts. But when it comes down to opinion, listen to someone's opinion. Like you might not agree with them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But like there's ways of kind of dealing with it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Even if someone says something that's totally off the board, there's still ways you can say, "Come on, mate. The facts are this. Come on. Are you sure about that?" Rather than going personal and saying you don't. Just go. I just don't like it. That was just my little bugbear. All right, let's move on. Romelu Lukaku. Yeah. Lukaku. What
Big
do you
Rom.
want to say? I call him Lukaku. What do you say?
Lukaku, but it doesn't matter.
Lukaku, I say. Anyway.
Big
Rom. Let's start with the first bit of Big Rom, yeah? He's on stuff at the World Cup so far. Yeah. It looks like we're seeing just what happens when you give man the supply line he needs, to feed him. Does he get the credit that he deserves?
It's not just the supply line, it's also the type of supply. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been saying to people a million times and now you're starting to see Lukaku's not a target man. He's a big man, but he's not a target man. Jose wants to use him as a focal point. He wants to use him like a Costa, like a Drogba.
No, he's not that.
Like
his back to goal game is poor.
His back to goal game is dead. Yeah. People come with stats and say, yeah, but he gets assists. Yeah, but how does he get assists? Yeah. He crosses the ball in.
Yeah, he doesn't get in it from holding it up. He doesn't get assists
from taking it down on his chest or flicking it off to someone and laying it off like Giroud gets little flicks, clever flicks around the corner. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't get assists like that. No. He's not like he's most comfortable when he's attacking the goal or attacking the ball, facing the goal. Yeah. He likes to face the goal.
He needs to run it.
Lukaku's a big man, but he very much plays like a small man. He likes to drift out wide. He likes to come in between the centre half and the fullback and run onto balls, or he likes to attack crosses. He's a poacher.
This is nothing different to what he was doing at Everton when he was at West Brom. Yeah. The type of play that he's doing, I don't even think it's necessarily that he's got loads better because he was bagging 20 a season and at Everton.
He hasn't got loads better.
Because that's another thing. People saying he's made so much progress. And I think what I will say about Lukaku
we just seen a different side to his game because he's in a different side.
Exactly.
And a different style. And 100%. Also with Manchester United, because a lot of teams sit back and they want us to come on to them, he doesn't have the space to run in behind as much. So because of that, he's having to change his game and play back to goal. We don't play to his strengths.
And that's the thing we need to sort out next year. I mean, obviously, yes, if you've got the likes of Hazard and De Bruyne feeding you, we don't have the likes of... Well, obviously, you got Pogba there, so that's a forward-thinking player.
But hopefully if Pogba was further forward, then that's a viable option.
Jose, I think, should be looking at that, doing his punditry in Russia. Yeah. And thinking, cool, flipping it. how do I set up my side so I can get the best out of him like that?
We need to play someone pretty close to him.
Yeah, he does.
In the 10 position so that he doesn't have to come so deep back to go to receive the ball. We want Lukaku running onto balls into the channel, running onto through balls or attacking crosses. Turn them around. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Lukaku can catch the ball, face defenders up, and actually when he faces them up, he's good at going past them as well. He can drop a shoulder
for a big guy,
and whipping across.
One thing I do like about Lukaku is his hunger. I watched I know you watched it as well, actually, that little piece he done. I can't remember who it was for, a media outlet. And he was talking about his life and how he said to his mum when there was no food on the table sort of thing. I said to my mum,
diluting the milk.
I'm going to, do you know what I mean? He knew times were hard and he used to say the milk weren't as strong. And when my mum used to put water in it, I used to know that's to make it stretch. I said, Mum, I'm going to be a professional footballer for Anderlecht at the time, but I'm going to make it. And just his willingness to, even when he does interviews, you always get the feeling that he wants to be the best he can be.
Yeah, his attitude
and he wants to learn.
Is flawless, isn't it? Like he's got like an elite 100. Attitude. Like, do you know what I mean? In terms of the way he analyzes his game, he wants to improve his game. Very similar to Ronaldo. Like they're self-driven, innit? Like no one has to tell them to practice. No one
wants to be the best.
He wants to be the best.
He wants to be the best.
I don't think he'll ever get there because technically he's not good enough. But his attitude makes up for what he lacks technically. Do you know what I'm saying?
Where does he rank then? So we always talk about this, and I want to know what you guys think because we talk about the term world class, and world class means a lot of things to different people. To me, I think it means, are you in the top 5 in your position in the world?
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's got to do with consistency as well and things like that. And would you get into all the other top teams? Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I would class it as.
Yeah.
Is Lukaku world class?
I don't think so. I don't think he is world class. However, I don't think he's very far off. Like when I look at Lukaku, like I couldn't see him in a Real Madrid shirt. I couldn't see him in a Barcelona shirt.
Could you know?
Nah.
Still
I couldn't see him in a Bayern Munich shirt.
But if you
I just couldn't, bro.
If he's in the Belgian team with probably 2 of the best players in the world in their positions, let's say Hazard and De Bruyne, and finishing good chances. I know it's against their teams, as so they're saying at the moment. If he was getting chance after chance, people were playing to his strengths, like a Barca, or don't you think he could?
No, because he doesn't have the feet, bruv, to link up. It's just like
with
Chicharito Hernandez is a prime example.
He
was the best finisher at our club when he was there. But the thing is, he offered so little outside of the box in terms of his footwork that like we can't start with a man like that. Because when you play it into him, it's breaking down the play. When you're at a Real Madrid or Barcelona, where it's a very high technical game. They would rather a Benzema that's technically sound and doesn't score as many goals. But his movement and because he's conducive again
to the way that they play.
I just feel like Lukaku is limited in terms of his technical play. He's a very good striker.
Yes.
Good finisher.
I've said this many a times.
But as a footballer, the whole package, he's got a lot of weaknesses.
Explain, because for people who look, there's different types of football fans. There's people that study the game inside and out. There's people that have coached, been in the game, etc. And there's people who watch it for pure enjoyment. If they can see someone kick the ball in the net, to them, they're a fantastic footballer. Explain, like, from your take, what does a good footballer mean, or what does a good striker mean?
A good footballer.
There's a big difference.
For me, is the technical side of the game. It's not the power side of the game, because Lukaku's physical attributes are a big factor in how he plays football. He's very good in the air. He's quick and he's powerful. But you take all that away and you just have to rely on pure
football IQ.
Football. He's in trouble. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
Whereas there's certain players...
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of footballers that when they lose the half a yard, Fernando Torres was the same. As soon as he had them hamstring injuries and he lost that little half a yard to get away from defenders, he was very easy to mark.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it's up here where you have to alter your game, and the very best players, the very best footballers can adapt like that. You look at someone like a Pirlo. I know he's not a striker, but people who play with their brain.
But it's the same with Ryan Giggs. The reason why Ryan Giggs was able to move from the wing inside, same with Bastian Schweinsteiger, is because their football IQ is so good that even when they lost their legs, they could drop in and still dictate. Philip Lahm was the same. Philip Lahm went from a fullback to a DM, bruv. You know what I mean? Because they see the game, the picture, and they've got the technical attributes, and they don't need more than 2 touches. Do you know what I mean? With Rom, I feel like it's very erratic. Like either the touch isn't great, or he doesn't see the pass.
If he has too much time to think, I think he's terrible.
Or he takes 3 touches to turn and then someone nicks it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like when he has very little time to think, he's devastating.
Yeah, he is 100%. And that is
put
why,
him through on goal, him versus the defender, his hunger, he's getting it every
he's
time.
like, you're not stopping me from getting to that goal or to that 18-yard box, so I'm gonna bang it. And that's the thing. It's not a diss to say that. That's just his style of play.
Not at all. That's his style of play.
Some people give
Drogba
me
was the same.
What do you mean?
Drogba was the same. Like Didier Drogba was the same. Like he didn't have the most amazing first touch, but he was untidy and unorthodox. He was arms flying around, like backing into people.
That's it.
Same with Diego Costa. The
Same
ball comes into him, he chests it up like the goalie scored in the ball. Chests it up in the air.
just where, but it's
fling man out of the way. Like bruv, like it's cool. It don't look good, but it's effective.
Michael Owen was the same.
But
Michael Owen in his prime.
When he lost his pace though, he was still scoring headers at 5'7" because Michael Owen's movement was impeccable.
Yeah. It comes down to movement.
So
exactly.
it comes down
like
to
Chicharito
movement.
again. So
but Chicharito don't have the feet.
His feet is not good, but again, he's always in the
But
position.
that's the same with Owen. But when you've got players like Owen Hernandez, Lukaku, even though he's a big player, he plays like a small number 9. You need to cross the ball. You can't play Michael Owen the ball with his back to goal.
No.
What for?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
and that's what it is. So I think if people look at Lukaku's physical attributes and they expect him to be this big powerhouse that bullies defenders. He does it sometimes. Yeah. But that's
not in the way
game.
of back to goal. Yeah. Not so much.
He's
not
a pure number 9. He's a poacher.
Yeah.
Get him the ball in the box. He will score.
Eden Hazard said, for those of you lot who didn't see, the guy said, I saw it in the interview. Yeah, he's amazing to play with. Yeah. You just give him the ball in front of the goal and he always scores.
Look at Lukaku like Andy Cole, innit? Take away the fact that he's like 6'3".
Yeah, massive.
Well, maybe no, he's 6'5" even.
He is a big brother.
Do you know what I'm saying? And like 14 stone.
And he can shift all as well for that.
Yeah.
He can shift.
Ignore all that.
Yeah.
Just think of when you see Coley, man, put him through, and he'll do the rest or put the ball in the box.
And then finishes that he scored at
2 dinks, blood.
I mean, a good
left
finesse.
foot,
yeah, man.
and right foot.
He's showing he can do it with both
and a
feet.
header. And guess what? All of his goals came from either him attacking the ball or him running onto a pass. None from him turning and doing all, because that's not him.
100.
Rom is not a target man.
So that's Rom as in terms of the credit and his flaws and his weakness, strengths and stuff. What about this thing? I've seen a lot of people talk about Big Rom for captain.
Yeah, let it go, innit?
Because
let it go.
He done that team talk with Belgium. He's very good at G'ing up his teammates for the national side. I wouldn't have him as a captain.
Lukaku is the only player in that Belgian team with a bit of grapefruits, innit? Like, that's all it is, innit? Like, Hazard's not a leader. But you've seen it for Chelsea. He's a very good player, but like when things ain't going his way, he's not. He's not a leader. He's not a leader. De Bruyne as well. He's a mute. He don't even speak.
Yeah, he just does his football.
These guys are brilliant players, but Lukaku's got the biggest personality. That's all it is.
So and that doesn't always necessarily make you a good captain.
Nah, because there's different things. It's also your respect that people have for you in the dressing room. They clearly have it for him at Belgium. But at Manchester United, I can't look past Big Dave for the armband.
But he doesn't speak a lot though either.
No, but the thing is, he's got a presence, bruv. And he's got a respect, bruv. Like, them man know that he's the guy, innit?
Would you give it to him?
Because Valencia, yeah, absolutely.
Is there a hint? Hold on a minute. Is Rants just giving
I'll give him it so he don't leave.
So we don't leave, really? Because I don't know if he truly believe. Because the guy is not really one for speaking.
Yeah, but neither is Valencia. Valencia don't even speak
English.
He can't speak English.
Who should be the captain?
And not Smalling, you know what I mean? Like, Smalling shouldn't even be at the club. So, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm giving it to Big Dave, bro. Because at the end of the day, the captaincy doesn't really mean nothing because the captains, we don't really have any natural born leaders at the club. Which is one of our problems anyway. So, just give it to David De Gea and then job done, innit? Like, for me.
Okay, so for Rants, it's a definite no for Lukaku as a.
Who would you give the armband to next season, guys? Leave your comments. Let us know.
That'd be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just before we finish, I want to just touch on this very quickly. Just a couple of the ones that come to our heads as fast as possible. United players at the World Cup. Let's just have a quick little skim over. Okay, Jesse Lingard. Whew. Should we just stop there?
Jay Ling's blood.
I love the fact that the rival fans are like, Flex, he's doing bits, isn't it? We see this every week. Even when he doesn't finish off the chance because he might miss, he's always in the position.
I was the one saying Messi Lingard, then 2-2's this on BBC, fam. Check the Twitter. It was me, blood. Man's the Lingard club, right here.
Lingardinho.
Do you know what I'm saying? He's the guy, bro. Yeah. Jay Lings, man.
So he's doing bits. He's doing well. Rashford, he looked all right when he came on.
He looked very sharp when he came on. He was a problem when he came on. Ashley Young's doing well.
Against that. Ashley Young,
man, like Mo
for the
Farah,
stick that we've given him,
Mo Farah, he ain't doing nothing.
All right,
but he's doing what he needs to do. Yeah. He's a fullback. And
Danny Rose is not going to force him out.
He's a fullback and he's an ex-winger. So because of that, he's basically just doing the in-between jobs because he's dead at left back and dead at wing. So so they just put man in the middle.
Is he going to get found out against better opposition?
I don't think so.
Even against Panama, I did tweet. There was one time.
No, he gets caught out.
There was one time he went down his side and.
Ashley Young, if you play a diag, he's finished.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where to be. His position's not good, but he's still got the legs.
Yeah.
So his defensive discipline, I think, will actually be very good for England.
Okay. Phil Jones hasn't even had any minutes for England, so let's just leave him. Hopefully that happens. Quagmire. Oh my god, yeah, he does.
He does that Quags, blood.
Yeah, he does. Paul Pogba.
Do
you know what?
He's been involved in every goal.
I have to say this, and this is not United, but I was in the barber's the other day, and the barber, the guy was trimming me, was like, "Yeah, your boy Pogba flex. Yeah, he's not doing nothing." I said, "Listen, France as a unit have been dead, and anything good they've done, Pogba's been part of it. I don't.
He played the ball for the Griezmann penalty.
Played the ball for
he
the.
Got the own goal that they took away from him, and they only took away from him because it was him. You know what I mean? If it was Harry Kane, they would have given it to him.
Yeah, because he would have been asking
Harry Kane. Because he played the shot and it deflected off man.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, bro.
So that's just been harsh. They haven't hit the heights, but he's been part of their best moments.
Pogba's been involved in every single goal that they have scored in this tournament.
And Deschamps hasn't really, as a tactician, he's not very good.
Deschamps is like Mourinho Mark II. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, who else we got? Victor Lindelof was in action against Sweden. He looked alright, innit?
Yeah.
He looked alright.
He looked good.
Strong.
Like, if he's starting for his international team at the World Cup, there's no reason why he can't get a game at United. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't see why not. Should Jose just... No, I don't want to say gamble because it's his signing.
It's not a gamble. He bought, man.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a gamble. So should Jose just actually put some trust in him? Let's forget the Alderweireld thing and let's just go with.
I personally, I would like a centre half, but it's not a priority position for me.
Yeah. Who else? Nemanja Matic.
Yeah, he's looked alright, but he's a workman and he's in a workman-like team. So Matic isn't going to show us anything different there. You know what I mean? But you know what you're going to get with Nemanja.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anyone else. We're probably missing a couple, but I can't really.
No, because we spoke about Lukaku already. Yeah. And who else starts for us?
That's pretty
no
much
one else, bruv.
De Gea, actually.
Wait, there, man, like Kit Kat fingers, bro. Like
David Carrius. No, I'm joking. Let's not get carried away. All the rival fans who just hate on us.
No, but I want him to keep doing it, bruv. Get out your system now, blood.
So lay
out, lay out your system, blood.
It was only one mistake, man. I know you done one in the friendly before that.
Lay out your system, Dave. You know what I'm saying? Just lay out your system because you don't do it for us. Don't care.
So we don't have anything to be worried about.
Nothing. Listen, Dave, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
But what if it's just nicking because he's been inhuman?
Bruv, they don't
like where he don't make mistakes. De
Gea's come out and he said that the Spanish, like, they don't respect him, innit?
They get on to him,
and they don't treat him well. And I think
stay in England then. See, they don't like you there,
he is going to stay in England. He'll sign a new deal, trust me.
I really hope so.
But because they don't respect him, and like, I feel like the added pressure of him knowing that he's not accepted, I feel like he's not focused when he's with them. Do you know what I mean? When he's with us, he knows he's the guy, bro. Like, even Mourinho said, he's like, that's my boy. Like, you know what I mean? He knows he made a mistake, but it is what it is.
Mourinho said he's better in goal than Caballero.
And he didn't lie. You know the ones there. He didn't lie, man. Like Willie, bro.
That made me chuckle. I love Patrice Evra's performance at the World Cup, actually.
Just as legend, a bruv. You know the ones there.
He's wicked. Like, I've just been seeing him doing the punditry. Like, he's still loving it.
Evra's a great personality and he's red, innit? He's red through and through,
and
man.
Roy Keane's just Roy Keane.
That's it. No, it's been great, man. Usually we see, like, when you look on Sky Sports, they're full of bloody Scousers. You know what I mean? So it's good to have like a United heavy
100%. Gary Neville's doing bits. Yeah,
that's it,
Phil Neville. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Right, guys, we got to the end of the show. Go quick in there.
Yeah, let us know. Did we miss any players out?
Yeah, if there is, drop them in the comments. We want to know. Smash the like button. Keep watching. Keep sharing the show. It's growing. It's getting a good vibe, and we're loving you guys' feedback, man. If there's anything you want us to discuss,
100%, guys. Yeah, let us know if there's other things as well. Tweet us. Like, follow our Twitters, follow our Instagrams, follow the United Stand Instagram as well. Make sure you tweet us, and then we record this every Monday. So let us know stuff that you want to talk about, and then we'll just keep it as interactive as possible. Leave your comments, and we'll get back to you. We'll like your comments, 100%.
The comments mean a lot because we do go through them. We do look at them. You know what
That's it. It's a fan channel, bruv. So it's about you guys. So make sure that you keep it interactive.
Lastly, before we go, last thing, England win the World Cup.
No. You know what I'm saying? But I take quarterfinals. The boys have done us proud so far.
I'm going to say... do you know what? No, I'm going to get a bit gassed. I'm going to say semi-finals. Just because I feel like saying it because I'm in a good mood.
Fair play.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure. See you lot next week.